Yo, mic check, mic check, mic check. What's going on, people? What's the word? It's a gloomy day today. I mean, it ain't start out too promising looking, but now it just look like thunderstorm. One of them days you get you some good old sleep. The gym was closed earlier. That's why that's how I get my energy in the morning. I go out, work out and all that, but tried to go to this morning and it was closed. So, you know, that kind of set me back, but it gave me opportunity to make some more money. So I did that. What's going on with y'all today though, man? We done made it to hump day. I don't know if y'all excited about it, but we counting down to that weekend, to that fight this weekend. Gervonta Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia. It ain't amongst diehard boxing fans, boxing purists, it ain't a big fight, but it's still gonna be one of them big ones. And every time Gervonta Davis, you know, come to the ring, he come to put on the show. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. Plus, I just want to see Ryan get knocked out. Can I? Okay, I'm gonna wait till we get about 2 minutes in before I really get to going. Oh yeah, I just want to see that chin get touched because he ain't nothing to me but the new Amir Khan. You know, if we talking about the next generation of boxers and who they mirror, you know, they say Tank Davis like a mini Mike Tyson. If that's the case, Ryan Garcia, that's mini Amir Khan. That's the new Amir Khan, you know. All speed, no chin. You know, as soon as that chin get touched, it's out of there. You know what I'm saying? So waiting till this weekend. I ain't taking no bets though. That's why I'm back working now, because I bet on Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant sent me right back to the cracker plant. You know what I'm saying? To the old plant factory. Down to the old work plant. I had to break out my steel toe boots after I bet on Caleb Plant against David Benavidez, man. You know? But nah, man, we got a good one for y'all today though, man. Well, good as in interesting, because it ain't good as in the stuff we talking about. Like, I'm gonna show y'all some reactions to little dude that got shot, Ralph Yarl, I guess that's his name, Ralph Yarl, yeah. Little dude who got shot and through the door when the man just shot him through the door. It's a little bit of background on it. I covered it the other day, but as it opens up more and we get more info, I just like to, you know, I don't want to leave y'all hanging. So, you know, I cover it a little bit more, you know. And we gonna go into some different reactions, because yeah, it's one of those things. It would have been a major thing, almost something like the George Floyd incident or something like that, except the little boy survived, you know. But it was some interesting things about the guy that shot him, some interesting facts, and that's particularly the facts about the guy who shot the kid are what made me pick the clip that I picked for today. Just because I want y'all to take into consideration those things being mentioned. Another thing, they found these Republican officials in, I want to say, Oklahoma, talking about hiring some hitmen to murk some folks. Like, man, these people, man, you just don't know. You don't know who you dealing with, dude. You think because everybody sit up here and swear an oath to office and do all this stuff. And I ain't just saying to not trust nobody or nothing like that, but a lot of these, man, like small towns and stuff like that. What's going on in that? A lot of these small towns, they got their own little way of life and they own, you know, their own little ecosystem and whatnot, if that's what you want to call it. Shit just be going on, right? And yeah, I could cuss now. Shit be going on. So they sit up and they get these folks recorded talking about dudes, talking about, you know, some hitman and all that. Like, these are elected officials though. Like these ain't just some 2-bit people in a bar we talking about. Like these are elected officials. And that's what we talk about when we say systematic racism and we talk about shit like that, because it's these type of people that have positions of power that could be straight sick in their fucking head. But as long as that sickness is directed towards one group of people, it kind of go under the radar. And that's what's dangerous. Like you got people with power who also psychopaths, you know what I'm saying? Genocidal psychopaths who like, yeah, we could kill this whole group of people. Yeah, we got some hitmen, we could do this, we do. And they elected officials though, you know what I mean? Like it hit different and, you know, they say, oh, well, you know, whatever. I ain't gonna get too deep on it. Don't let me get to popping off on that shit. The difference between they do it, black people killing each other, and when elected official is killing you, everybody of every race between like intra-racially has crime. You know what I'm saying? White people don't go out looking for other people to commit crime against. It happened to who around them, other white people. Every time y'all see a crime a white person do, most of the time, it's a white on white crime, but y'all don't look at it like that because you ain't been told to look at it like that. You know what I'm saying? Mexicans, they ain't out looking for other people or whatever. It's who is around. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't about doing it to your own people. But what about when you got these elected officials, right? That's supposed to be, you know, taking these oaths and got these badges and got these guns and got the law behind them, but they still feel a certain way. They still got a tribalistic instinct and all that. And we gonna get into that because that's what we talking about, right? And then the last thing, it was this actually been going around for a little minute. The dude's wife tried to divorce him, the soccer player, but he had everything in his mama name. Got everything in my mama's name. And she ain't get nothing. As a matter of fact, she got less than nothing. She had to call off the divorce, if I ain't mistaken, because she would have had to pay him money because he ain't have nothing. Got everything in my mama's name. But I ain't doing it though. I couldn't do it. But he was playing some 3D chess with that. I guess he just knew what to expect. But I know what we gonna do, man. We gonna get these analytics together, you know. And today I'm gonna go a little fast because this weather ain't no good out here, and I got a feeling that anytime while I'm streaming, my internet is gonna go out. So we gonna get this thing together, you know what I'm saying? And y'all already know what we do, man. Macworld live at 5. Let's go. Mac World live at 5. What's going on with y'all, man? Let's go. Let's get right on into it. All right, so first I want to show y'all this, right? This was a follow-up on what I was doing the other day. Where I had covered the guy who shot the kid right through the door. You know what I'm saying? He ended up surviving. It wasn't a lot of info about the guy who shot him, but I guess now we starting to get a little bit more info. And people, you know, the internet always gonna present it, you know, in an interesting way. So I wanted y'all to see the TikTok reactions to it, because that's where all the reactions come from now. TikTok, you know what I'm saying? That's why they trying to really ban TikTok, because it's like boom, people right away. It moved faster with less of an echo chamber than all the things they've been putting money into being able to control people like Facebook and Twitter and all that. You know, TikTok moving a little too fast for them, so they want to ban it. But let's go though. They finna drop some knowledge. Let's go.
And black people, we are gonna hear from them because people are literally giving their opinion. I'm gonna let these videos roll so we can hear from them. Please check these videos out.
So I'm going to take you through a quick history timeline to show how some of the worst acts of anti-black racism in US history weren't that long ago. So Andrew D. year-old Ralph Yarl was born around 1939. This means he was born closer in time to when black people were enslaved than to the racial justice protests of 2020. He was also only born 17 years after the Tulsa Race Massacre, which means his parents probably lived during that. Yeah. On top of this, he was actually 2 years older than Emmett Till and was 16 years old when Emmett Till was brutally beaten and lynched to the point of being unrecognizable. And remember, the white people who murdered Emmett Till were found innocent, even though they admitted to the whole thing later on. And this one, Carolyn Bryant, is still alive today. When Lester was a teenager, the third wave of the Ku Klux Klan rose up, and later on, they bombed the church in Birmingham, killing 4 black girls to maintain segregation. And on that note, I guess I forgot to mention, but up until this point during his whole life, Jim Crow laws were still in place. It wasn't until he was even 24 years old that the I Have a Dream speech was even given, and for reference, I'm 23 right now. Now, I could probably go on forever, but I'll let y'all continue in the comments. This is just to show that people need to stop pretending that all of that normalized, violent anti-blackness just disappeared or evaporated after like MLK died. All those creepy kids in the lynching photos grew up, grew old, and probably never had to even think twice about the crimes against humanity that they and their families took part in. And this is the result. Comment other events I forgot to mention and follow for more.
So as I'm sure you're well aware of this case.
Oh yeah, let's see what the white dude got to say.
Ralph Yarl, who was shot in the head for mistakenly knocking on this horrendous being's door.
Look how the white dude look. He just looked like... He looked like...
This man's now been charged.
Hold on.
But one thing that has to be...
My zoom it ain't gonna show me no love. I bet you it's not. Let me see. Oh, I knew it wasn't gonna show me no love. I knew it. All right, so y'all gotta bear with me. We going in together. Come on, zoom it. Why you treat... Hold up, what it say? Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? Zoom it. Damn it. We had a good thing going. Let me see. All right, there we go. Why can't we be friends? Why can't we? Because I wanted to show y'all this. Hold on, let me go back a little bit. Look how dog look, man. Like, what's up with these people, man? You know, they say that the eyes are the windows to the soul. Like, what the fuck is going on with these? Like, he just shot somebody through his own front door. He said it looked like a kid, obviously a kid, but this is an opportunity to murder somebody through the front door, and he ain't want to pass that opportunity up. That's messed up, right? Let's go.
The 16-year-old child, Ralph Yarl, who was shot in the head for mistakenly knocking on this horrendous being's door, looking for his siblings. And this man's now been charged. But one thing that has to be specified and should be across the board in every outlet is that this is only after national outrage, a protest outside the man's house, and calls to action. Because after shooting this black child twice in the head. He was taken into custody and then released
and then let
and
go.
allowed to flee to his Arizona vacation home after just attempting to murder a 16-year-old black child. Now, the sheriff in Kansas City has spoke about how they're still looking into the racial component of this case. Well, let me tell you one racial component that does play a factor, and that is the treatment of this man after this horrendous act.
Facts.
Because I tell you right now, if it was a black man who had shot a white kid in the head twice,
Facts.
there is no way that man is allowed to sleep in his own bed, to flee to his vacation home after committing that atrocity.
Big facts.
Let's not forget that when we're talking about headlines.
I think the biggest rub with the entire narrative around 16-year-old Ralph Yarl is this idea that somehow he made a mistake. You have news reports saying that he knocked on a door in error. He went to the wrong house in error. He rang a doorbell in error. I think that puts a lot of the responsibility back on a 16-year-old kid to navigate the world in almost a perfect way. I think a more appropriate way to describe this is that a deranged racist attacked a kid. I am more than confident that Ralph Yarl was not the first person to ring this man's doorbell. I am more than confident that dozens of people have knocked on this man's door and walked away unscathed. There is a common denominator within this narrative that gets pushed out of the center towards the edges when it comes to people of color, and that common denominator is their humanity. Ralph Yarl is a 16-year-old boy who was attacked by a deranged, racist man. That's the headline.
Hey everybody, so I've seen a bunch of videos about people upset that the guy who shot Ralph Yarl, the 16-year-old in Kansas City, for knocking on his door, got charged with first-degree assault and not attempted murder. And I just want to clarify, the only reason that he got charged with first-degree assault and not attempted murder is because in Missouri, they don't have a designated attempted murder charge. In Missouri, a person commits the offense of assault in the first degree if he or she attempts to kill or knowingly causes or attempts to cause serious physical injury to another person.
So that's the closest.
So he is getting charged with attempted murder. Just in Missouri, it's not called attempted murder. It falls under the first degree assault charge.
Caucasian, swami looking dude.
Woman. Like, I love being black, so I don't want anything that I'm about to say to somehow skew that perception.
Here we go.
One of the most exhausting things about being black is nothing that our culture does. It is the fact that we have to try to survive things that are unsurvivable. How are we supposed to survive being shot for knocking on the wrong door? How are we supposed to survive being shot for somebody else entering into our apartment? How are we supposed to survive no-knock raids where police come into our space and kill us while we are in the bed? How are we supposed to survive being tased and left in a jail cell where we are found dead for not using a blinker? How are we supposed to survive being a young girl shot to death by police while sleeping on a couch? How are we supposed to survive being killed in a park playing with the toy gun? How are we supposed to survive being killed while running away? White supremacy backs us against a wall and then tries to punish and shame us for any reaction that we have to that.
Man,
and it is just not fair. And I am angry.
And you know what? I go a step further. I say it wouldn't even be, it ain't even so much the white supremacy, it's any interactions you got. You know what I'm saying? As a black person where you gotta engage, you know, the system in any type of manner where you gotta assert yourself. It's always gonna be looked at, you're gonna be judged more by your reaction than what was actually done to you to make you react that way. That's how it always is. Like, I had my daughter, she was working out in a part of town called Brookfield. I'm in Wisconsin, and Brookfield is like, you know, real, you know, real mayonnaise. We'll put it like that, right? Ain't a lot of black people out there, a lot of older white people out there, right? And this guy grabs her hair, and you know, like while she was at work, and her boss was right there, but her boss didn't really do nothing about it. And you know, that kind of pissed me off, because I know had my daughter reacted a certain way, it would have been on her. They would have made it seem like, oh, well, why didn't you come to us? But in this situation, their higher up was right there and didn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's like they rather police your reaction than try to protect you from the stuff getting done to you. So she definitely on to something. Let's go.
Angry about it. But the other half of America tells me I'm supposed to suppress my anger, because if I do not, then I'm in jail. If not, it will be used against me. If not, then I will be punished. I have been arrested over 5 times during protests. Somehow my anger at our murders gets me more punished than the people that commit murder. That's exhausting.
So this morning, this story was on my feed. And every time when I look at that, okay, when I see that picture, I think of my teenage son, my brothers, my cousins, and for any of you that say we don't know the whole story yet, you obviously don't live with this fear. For yourself, for your family members, your own kids. I'll give you a prime example of how this impacts our lives on a daily basis. Recently I purchased some things from a friend, and I was with some other friends, all of them being white, when she texted and said, hey, I'm going to be out of town, I'm going to leave all that stuff on my front porch, swing by and pick it up whenever you have a free chance. Instantly, I called another mutual friend of ours and I said, hey, when you have a sec, can you go pick this up for me? Not because I didn't have time, not because I couldn't, but because this friend moved to a new neighborhood in a new house that I'd never been to, and expects me to go pick that stuff up and walk it to my car from her front porch. And then the friends that I was with at that time looked at me and asked why I would have to do that, and I explained it to them. They were shocked, stunned, but then completely understood. And one of them looked at me and said, I have never had to think about that, ever. If you're going to come at me and say that's stupid and that there's no reason to live with such fears.
Like, her friend sent her to go pick some shit up from one of their houses. Like, dude, I can't just go pick something up off of your porch, like, in your neighbors. Like, do you know how America work? Like, they can, like, she can lose her life, you know what I'm saying, for going to go get some stuff. It's stuff like that they are completely oblivious to. That should say something. That should say a lot right there. How could it be something going on right around you that somebody else could lose their life for doing, but you don't even recognize that, and you living right amongst that person or whatever? But like, that should let you know some shit is fucked up, you know what I'm saying, in your favor, you know what I'm saying? And it got to be the people that either look like you or they doing it to favor you, and you need to be the one standing up to say something about that shit. Like, that was a good analogy right there. I'm actually happy I let her cook on that, because yeah, she could have lost her life for that, you know. That's how it is. And yeah, like she say, and he went to it wasn't even so much of like a mistake, you know, like you say it's a mistake. Or matter of fact, you know what? Let me go back, because I want to let her
pass things like that on to my children.
I want to let her go back and say that one more time.
To my children?
Look.
Why I would have to do that, and I explained it to them. They expects me to go pick that stuff up and walk it to my car from her front porch. And then the friends that I was with at that time looked at me and asked why I would have to do that, and I explained it to them. They were shocked, stunned, but then completely understood. And one of them looked at me and said, I have never had to think about that, ever. And if you're going to come at me and say that's stupid and that there's no reason to live with such fears or to pass things like that on to my children.
They the oppressors, like, it don't matter. It's like, for them, it's like zero-sum game. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man. That's the crazy part about it. Another thing, as they say, to add to that talk that you hypothetically gotta have with your kids, you know what I'm saying? I mean, and she was making some good points too, because like she was saying, how could you protect your kids, and how can you expect people to survive things that shouldn't even normally be a threat to a person? That's one. And two, you have people around you that black folks, we trying to be so equal and all that, and we want to be so, yeah, everything's all good. You know what I'm saying? Our friends like, yeah, girl, go pick up some things from off the porch. Nah, she was finna go pick some stuff up from off her friend's porch and lose her life for that, because they was gonna say she was a criminal, and they was gonna shoot first, and they was gonna ask questions later, and they don't understand that, how we had to deal with stuff like that, right? But you know, it is what it is, man. It's like I guess that's what we say when we mean, like, when we say racism and stuff. We ain't so much meaning like, oh, somebody said some mean things, or oh, they don't like black people. We don't really care about that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's neither here nor there, because at the end of the day, we kind of got our own world that we live in, that we create, and that we got to fight for, to have dominion in our own creation anyway. You know what I'm saying? But what we say when we mean racism, and when we talk about shit like that, we mean systematic racism. And that's what brings me to my next clip. Let's go.
Key officials, GOP officials, caught talking racial, but their own truth indeed. Here it is.
They're insignificant in my life.
Yes.
Really, they bring that
Don't say it, you know. What goes around goes around. It will.
Wow.
It will. Yeah. I know where two big deep holes are if you ever need them. I got an excavator.
Hold up. He said, the old saying is, what goes around comes around. I told you it will. I know where two big deep holes are here if you ever need them. The sheriff said, the district commissioner said, I know where two big holes are. The sheriff said, I got an excavator. And the commissioner said, well, these are already pre-dug. Wow.
These are already pre-dug.
Bunch of psychopathic killers sitting around having a convo.
I've known 2 or 3 hitmen that are very quiet guys.
That's why they be so obsessed and geeking over the Jeffrey Dahmer movie and shit. Like, to us, it's like, man, it's entertainment and it's weird and all that. But, man, you don't know. Like, the same way the lady was like, her friend said, I've never had to think about that when they sent her to get some shit off one of their porches and she could have lost her life. Bro, we might be watching these serial killer movies and all that and looking at that shit completely different than the way they looking at it. They might be looking at it like, man, that, I don't know, man. These motherfuckers are weird with that. And they be bloodlusting and shit. Like, it's fucking crazy. Like, just casually murderous. Like,
we actually told the truth.
I've known 2 or 3 hitmen.
I know 2 or 3 hitmen. Sheriff's investigator. This is the sheriff's investigator having this conversation. And then the commissioner say, I've known 2 or 3 hitmen. They're very quiet guys. So he already done had some people to murk. And then she says, yeah. And then he's saying they would cut no mercy in Louisiana because this is all mafia around here. Oh, yeah. Bunch of good old boys having a conversation about committing crime. Right up under Johnny Law's nose.
His wife's head, Chris Willingham's head, or any of those people that really were behind all that, if the hair on their head got touched by anybody, who would be the bad guys?
Who'd you blame for?
Yeah.
I heard the other day, I heard 10 or 12 people go to the sheriff. I said, let's get 20. They don't have a goddamn clue what they're getting into.
Oh, yeah.
Not this day and age.
But
this shit crazy.
If it was back in the day, would Alan Marshall take a damn blackjack, whoop their ass, and throw them in the cell? I'd run for sheriff.
Yeah. Well, it's not like that no more.
I know. We're taking down here on Mud Creek and hang them up with the damn rope.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the thing about it is,
they got more rights.
Longing for the good old days of dragging. I whoop their ass and throw them in the cell. Oh, drag them down the old Mud Creek. They missed them days, boy. And these are the people, they missed those days, but they still get to make decisions for us today. And they still get to hold positions of power today, these same people. You know what I'm saying? Sick in they fucking head.
That's how you feel, homie?
Yeah, he's stupid.
Okay. Let's do it. Put them all up. You heard officials talk about killing people, terrorizing black folk, how many hitmen they actually know, and what they would prefer to do to black people overall. The officials come from Oklahoma, right?
OKKK.
They were involved in the recording. You have Sheriff Kevin Clardy. You have District 2 Commissioner Mark Jennings. You have a sheriff's investigator, Alicia Manning, and jail administrator Larry Hendricks, not pictured. District 3 Commissioner Robert Beck, not pictured. Also is cited in the audio. The conversation occurred following a Board of Commissioners meeting on March 6th. Let me stop right here. What you just witnessed, what you just heard, is what we call systemic racism.
Boom.
It is systemic racism. It is embedded into the cultural normality of their operational dynamic. They are expressing their bias, yes, in a private conversation, but they have public responsibilities. Do you not believe that their internal private bias plays out in their external public execution?
Do you not believe that it carries over into the things they do publicly in public office? That's their whole point of holding public office, to enforce their will. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got folks sitting up, man, shit, scary. But you know what? It's just like, now, I'm doing this live stream now. Ain't a lot of people watching it. It might get some playback, but it be the shit like this. It ain't interesting. Offset, Cardi B ain't fart. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no shit like that. It be like the shit that really matter, the shit that really count, that's happening now, right now. Motherfuckers will not care about it. They will go like whatever, it go right over their head. You know what I'm saying? I just try to do my part by talking about it. Somebody gonna hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna help somebody out. It ain't gonna help everybody out. You know what I'm saying? Cause some motherfuckers like they bubble they live in. But this shit going on right now though. And then what's crazy about it is in court, they're not even looking at the fact that these are public officials talking about killing people, or that they were public officials talking about killing black people. They are more concerned with the fact of, is the recording admissible in court? So it's like they hide behind the law. The law is supposed to be to protect and to keep bad people from doing bad things. No, the law help criminals with badges hide behind the law. You can't get to them because that the law, they know how to manipulate the law. Everybody not operating up under the rule of law. Let's go.
Of their job. That makes it systemic. It is now codified inside of a system, a structure, a design that we pay for.
Right.
So literally in this county, black people are paying for their own oppression by way of their taxpayer dollars. This is why it's important. Let's talk about other parts of the recording. All right, the transcript suggests that the group first started discussing a recent fire which killed a woman and her 2 dogs. The group joked about the woman's body parts falling off her body, and that it is similar to
because the
eating
police
barbecue.
Are a lot of these.
So we
like,
get.
Listen, if people, you know, these folks love statistics, right? They love bringing up some statistics, especially when it comes to race-based stuff. You need to ask your white friends and all your buddies that ain't your non-black buddies and your black sellout buddies that love statistics. Ask them what percentage of Ku Klux Klan members and all that went into the police forces and went into are part of the police union. You know what I'm saying? How many white supremacist groups have been tied to the police union? Like, this shit is real, man. Like, as long as you know, people is looking at it like, oh, it's just a authority thing like that, you know what I'm saying? Then they could basically get away with it. I've been reading about this thing ever since I was an Africology major in college, where they talked about sleeper cells, what they call sleeper cells, and it was basically like these white supremacist group. No, ghost cells is what they called them. I could look it up. I could show it to y'all right now. I mean, they know about this. The FBI know about this. I'm pretty sure politicians know about it. People who want to know about it. But like, they would basically infiltrate instead of just flat out trying to go out and have Klan meetings and do stuff like that. Like, they would infiltrate like police forces and like different things like that, local governments, different shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because they realize it's a long-term game, and it's the wars being fought up here for black minds. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real.
Her in the body bag, and Kylie goes,
and they just joke about it. Like, they know what's going on. We gotta know what's going on.
He goes, you gotta preheat the oven, 350 degrees. Leave her in there for 15 minutes. Said Clardy. Everybody laughs. Let's put up the governor. He's a Republican, by the way. Okay? Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt is calling for these 4 McCurtain County officials to resign immediately. Wasting no time.
They ain't going nowhere.
In making this proclamation, he did not say, let me verify this or verify that. Let's wait for an investigation to be completed. He said in a statement, I am both appalled and disheartened to hear the horrid comments made by officials in McCurtain County. Governor Kevin Stitt said in a statement
but
Sunday,
firing them
there's
ain't
simply
really
no place.
Like, you could fire them, but still, they pretty much admitted to, like, they talking about they know hitman and all that. Like, it need to be, what y'all should have did was, instead of firing them, y'all should have kept that. Y'all should have watched them and investigated them, so y'all could have got some more info about who else they was attached to. But I think that's probably what they didn't want to do, because it probably would have went up the ladder somewhere where they ain't wanted to go to, right? You know what I'm saying? They want to cover up a couple things, but nah, it's, especially in these small counties like this, these small towns, they got a lot of shit like this going on. That's why when you hear them talking about defunding the police and all that, that's what they really talking about. They really talking about, because you got a lot of these small town police forces that, you know, they pretty much rogue shit. They get they funded from the federal government, and then they go off from there and do what the fuck they want to do, man. They planting evidence, doing all type of shit. You know, I just had an interesting conversation with somebody. Told me that he spent 4.5 years in the county because they was trying to get him to plead out to 35 years for a murder he ain't do. And he finally, once they couldn't get him to plead out and sign his life away, they just let him go. They just had to let him go because they couldn't get him. You know what I'm saying? But he still had 4.5 years of his life took from him. You know, of them trying to get him to just sign his life away, sign the rest of your life away. Shit get dirty out here, man. Stuff they ain't got to deal with. They don't know we got to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? But they ain't got to deal with it. And it's just, you know, I don't know. It's just going to keep on persisting and rolling over until something change, man. Like, we might not be organized like that, but I think that's kind of like how God made that shit, right? Because an organization could be infiltrated, but a state of mind is what it is. An understanding is what it is, and what's understood don't even gotta be explained. So as we gotta damn near evolve, and we have damn near evolved our way of communicating as a people. Like, we know. It was a funny ass skit on Key and Peele about that, where all the black people could talk to each other telepathically or whatever. And it was funny. I'll probably show it tomorrow or something. But nah, that's almost like it's getting like, man, we gotta move in silence, man, to get ahead, because they got the power, they moving behind closed doors. But as you see the type of stuff they talking about behind closed doors, like, yeah, how we gonna wipe these people out, man? We got some hoes, we got this. I know some hitmen, like, they moving, you know what I mean? And it ain't never gonna be for us, like, as a people. I don't think we never gonna win against no weapons formed against us using no type of violence or nothing like that. It's always gonna be like, all we gotta do really is simple. We just gotta self-realize and circumvent that money back toward ourselves and build up ourselves the way we want to be seen. The way we gotta put money into the things we care about, the way we want them to be recognized. We can't always be waiting on somebody to come buy us out, or, you know what I'm saying, shit like that. As long as we do that, it's always gonna be that element of only being able to make it so far and having so much power without them feeling like, well, they could come in and do this or come in and do that. And then they go to the point of where they just don't respect you as, you know, as a fellow, like your human rights and shit. You know what I'm saying? If they feel like they could have so much control over you, eventually folks don't even, you know, respect your human rights. But, you know, it's something that we gotta kind of get over ourselves, seeing ourselves the way they want us to see ourselves. We got to work on that amongst ourselves, and we also got to fight against it systematically. So I know I'm getting a little bit preachy on y'all, man, but whatever. But yeah, check it out. Remember I told y'all about the last clip, though, where she tried to get the money from the guy because, you know, they got divorced, but everything turned out to be in his mom's name. So yeah, been a lot of jokes going around about it. And, you know, it's been pretty funny, but it's also an interesting story, too. Let's look at it. Hold on.
The show that's going down between Hakimi and Hiba is getting crazier and crazier by the day.
She's like a model or something
Happening,
like
but here's a quick recap for the people that have no idea what the fuck is going on. Hakimi is an international soccer player who recently had some allegations come out against him. His wife, Hiba Abouk, I'm pretty sure that's how you say it, is a Spanish actress who, after these allegations came out, decided she wanted to get a divorce. Even going as far as posting pictures with her new man, quote unquote. Hakimi is one of the highest paid soccer players in the world, making about $1 million a month. So she was expecting a fat ass check out of this divorce, but here's where the twist comes. After some legal court shit goes down, the information comes out that all of Hakimi's assets is under his mother's name. His cars, his houses, 80% of his monthly income goes straight to his mom. So he doesn't have for her to take in the divorce. And an even crazier fucking plot twist is the fact that she actually has a way bigger income and way more assets than he does. So she would actually have to give him half of everything she owns. This man is a G. He's literally playing real life chess with this girl. From this point on, everything I'm gonna say is purely speculative, so just take it with a grain of salt. Via an Instagram post and a couple TikTok videos I saw, apparently she has now called off the divorce, saying that she doesn't want to have it anymore. I wonder why. A little theory going around the internet right now is that she's gonna try to just stay with him for as long as possible until his mother dies and all of the assets go back to him, so then she can divorce him and take him. But I did a little personal research, and I couldn't find her exact age, but I know she's in her late 50s, early 60s, and in good health. So Hiba's gonna have a lot of waiting to do, and my prayers go out to his mom, and I hope she lives a long, healthy life.
So guys, there you have it. This story has obviously gone very viral as this made its rounds around social media as well as the mainstream media outlets. And as recently as a couple of hours ago, it is starting to be reported that the wife will have to donate half of her $3 million net worth to Hakimi. And yeah, he's been accused of some very serious allegations. And if he is found to be guilty of those allegations, then it needs to be handled accordingly. But there are a lot of guys out there who are finding it hard to have any sympathy for this woman because in many cases, men find themselves on that side of the aisle when it comes to divorce situations like this. And the unfortunate reality is that this man had to find out the hard way that this woman did not love him the way he loved her. I mean, there's a 12-year age difference. When she saw him, she saw a man who was on a trajectory financially where he was going to be able to earn a certain level of income that she would never be able to reach. And that was enticing enough for her to want to ignore that huge age difference. Now, luckily, he had his mom there, who probably said, listen, I'm not going to stop you from marrying the woman you want to marry. You are a man
She was having fun making them TikTok videos when she thought she was finna be walking away with some money and shit. End up walking away with nothing. End up getting less than nothing. She ain't even get nothing. She ended up walking away, like you heard what he said, like her 3 million net worth that she got is more than what his net worth is on paper. So if they was to split everything, then she would end up giving him some shit. That's crazy right there. I really don't know what the allegations against him is, but I do know that I have seen that go down so many times. Hold on once. Hey, Rosie, open the door for me. Give you a second? Why you need a second? What you in there doing? For those of y'all that know Rosie, I found Rosie, y'all. She's alive. She's well, I wouldn't say well, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the well with a asterisk next to it. But yep, I found Rosie, y'all. So she's definitely over here. But nah, yeah. So it's tripped out. She thought she was finna get something. Like E say, so typical. Thought she was finna break a little bit of bread, cut and run, but he had other plans, you know. And I done seen that shit happen a lot of times where just automatically, if you get married, you end up paying like alimony. I remember I was talking to this one girl, right? She was a stripper. She said she used to be Suge Knight's old girlfriend, right? She had a fake body. She had fake teeth. Her teeth looked it all perfect. They was fake. Green eyes, they was fake. Booty, poom, pie, fake. Titties, poop, pie, 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 fake. You know what I'm saying? Hair, fake. You know, all that shit was fake, right? But it all looked good on paper. What's going on? But it all looked good on paper or whatever. And I remember at the time I met her, she was going through a divorce. And it was so funny because the dude was paying the car note on her Porsche truck that she was using to not take the kids to school. So we ended up still having to come get the kids, take them to school, put her in the condo that she gave me the keys to that she was not paying on. You know what I'm saying? And then she gave me his alimony. I guess it was like a card she got where you got like child support and then you got something called alimony, where it's like you got to pay your spouse or whatever. So she gave me the alimony card, you know what I'm saying? And meanwhile, the divorce wasn't even finalized. I mean, not the divorce, but like everything wasn't even finalized with her getting like the kids cut in her custody and all that. But the court was still making him pay for her because she had the kids. They let her keep the kids. They automatically placed the kids with her. They made him pay for all the shit and they made him pay alimony. You know what I'm saying? And she wasn't doing nothing with it. But I done seen it happen. You know what I'm saying? So many times. Like I said, I done been on the other side of it. So I know how I go. I feel him on, you know, getting back.
Mom bear, who probably said, listen, I'm not going to stop
to
you from marrying the woman you want to marry. You are a man
like,
now. But you work far too hard to get where you are right now. And I'm not quite sure that her intentions are 100% honest in what she wants. I mean, let's not forget, he met this woman when he was 20 years old. And there's a lot of things that we did when we were in our 20s, fellas, that we would not dare do today as 30-year-old, 40-year-old plus men because we know better. And even in situations like this where you have a woman who is already financially stable, she still feels entitled to this man's money. And that's because she still wants to be able to live the type of lifestyle she has been able to afford only because of the money he earns. Because please believe, this has nothing to do with making sure the kids are okay.
Nah, hell no. I don't be about no making sure no damn kids is okay. We all know that shit. I don't be about no damn kids, man. At the end of the day, that's the purpose of alimony, though, is they say you got that person used to a lifestyle that they was living. So now you got to support that lifestyle for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I think moms might have to get reactivated if I ever get rich. You know what I'm saying? Everything might have to go in mom's name. I'm over here with my boy Relly, you know what I'm saying? Come in the camera one time, man. It's my own boy right here, man. You know what I'm saying? Who I be hearing on the songs and stuff sometimes. We got some actually some stuff that we working on too coming for y'all. But nah, so it's cool though, man. It's just tripped out. You know, we all go through it. We done all did it before. If you done been in a situation dealing with a baby mama or something, you know how they side with the mother automatically or whatever. So, yeah, he said, y'all gonna go to mama's? All right, I'm gonna go to my mama. You know what I'm saying? And he got her right the fuck up out of there. But, yeah, man. I don't know. I had to keep it a little bit short today because the weather was messed up. I thought my thing was gonna go out on me. It actually did go out. Everything locked up, and then I had to reboot it and you know, get everything back together. But man, I appreciate y'all checking me out. You know, we kind of had a slow day today. This weather was all messed up. You know, but man, shout out to everybody. Shout out to Annette. Shout out to Ricky. You know what I'm saying? Moderation gang and shit. Checked in and you know what I'm saying, everybody watching who ain't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. If you ain't hit that like button, go ahead, hit that like, help me get in the algorithm. And yeah, man, like I said, we gonna keep it short and sweet today. And that's all I got for y'all. Enjoyed this hump day. Hopefully tomorrow it be a little bit brighter, a little better day, you know what I'm saying? But until then, man, I'm out of here, so later, y'all. I'm gone.